card swipe on a mobile phone, on a dongle. It will get an authorization. You'll sign it with your finger. You'll have an opportunity to put in an email address or say, just print me a receipt. And that's pretty much it. You're done. Many systems also will text it to you if you prefer. But the net is, it's a really simple system. It doesn't work much different than an existing point of sale, except that you can get an email receipt, which I like, and you can view the itemized list on a local device instead of trying to look over somebody's shoulder on a counter and make sure that they have the product totals right. Many of the systems also offer other payment options we mentioned earlier. So, if you want to take advantage of an e-check, present a check, many of the systems support that. In the case of PayPal, they support paying directly from a PayPal account. So those are nice options. PayPal also has another payment method that they'll get into you with. It doesn't even require any of these things. It's an app that they have that you can load on your own mobile phone. From a business view, you'll have to structure, I shouldn't say have to. You can structure a template that has your SKUs for products and services. So you can have those pre-populated. I use that in one of my businesses. It's really fast for me to produce an invoice for my members. You can swipe the card, have the customer sign it. They can choose how they want to have it, a receipt done, and that may include printing on a local printer, and you're done. And the next day or the same instant, your funds will probably be available in almost every solution that's out there, I think. It's a pretty quick turnaround. In the case of PayPal, I think it's immediate. So who all is involved? Again, we're going to simplify things here. You really would pick a payment provider, and that might be PayPal, it might be Square, it might be Intuit, or the actual other payment providers. Your businesses, as a service provider or retail account, you have consumer and you have a bank account. That's it. You don't have a merchant account that's involved, plus your target bank account. You don't have to have a payment processor. Your reporting is all going to come from your payment provider, and the funds are going to go directly into your bank account. So these are much simpler things than when I ran my e-commerce business for a very long time. Business, you're going to have some concerns. I mentioned PCI compliance. You're going to want to make sure that you're still PCI compliant, but the platform itself will be in all cases. You're going to be wanting to have good reporting, so make sure that your solution has the ability to produce detailed invoices for customers, but also detailed revenue reports for you. You're going to want to make sure you get a fee that you understand. Most of them are simple, but make sure you do understand exactly all the fees that are involved. You want to make sure you can do refunds. You want to make sure that the company itself has good customer support if you need help. You want to look at how the system works so you can assess the impact on staff training. You want to look at how you create products within the system if you choose to have multiple products within it. You want to look at how quickly you get your money, fund your bank account with your revenues. And finally, you want to look at system integration. If you have an existing point of sale system in your brick and mortar company, how do you integrate mobile into your existing POS? You also want to look at how can I integrate into my accounting systems, which reports would be revenue related. Finally, we're going to finish up with a couple future trends. I mentioned a few of them. I think you're going to see a huge trend in the big retailers for mobile in-store mapping and promotion. We've already seen picking up orders that you place online. The next evolution is put things in a cart, show up at Target. It'll take you on a map right to where those products are, and then they already have in their shopping cart. You can add things, other things by scanning, and we're going to start to see self-checkout. We're seeing retailers implement clienteling, which I look at as point of sale systems on steroids, because in addition to the SKUs that someone might be purchasing, you can present them other ones and engage in a conversation about other things you might want to sell them, always providing better customer service. Finally, the technology's there, but this is the other chicken and egg things. We're going to see completely wireless payments. In other words, you won't have to present these credit cards. You'll have credit card information within the iPhone stored securely, and you'll be able to just use a wireless mechanism like near-field communication or secure Bluetooth to move that information to a point of sale system or a mobile payment system. So that's it for me. I'd like to introduce Bob Angus, and he's going to take you through a whole bunch of PayPal stuff.
All right, thanks, Dale. You're right on with the opportunities and the challenges that everyone faces today with tablets and smartphones. here at PayPal, really we think about this as innovation around the mobile experience, and that's what really drives us. And it wasn't because it was the hot trend or the next big thing. Tablets and smartphones are inextricably part of everyday life for everyone now. And what that means for businesses is that you need to think about anytime, anywhere, anyhow. And that's because your customers and you are operating with tablets and smartphones. Now, in today's presentation, what I'm going to cover is how you could grow sales by giving your customers more ways to pay, and in particular, using their mobile devices. And then also giving you as a business ways to accept payments anywhere your customers are, not just in your current way that you interact with them. And then lastly, an opportunity for you to upgrade your current point of sale system easily and affordably to a modern system that leverages and takes advantage of the new tablet technology. So first, business success really always starts with thinking about your customers, and offering more ways to pay is critical. Now, traditionally, that meant offering more options for types of payments that you accept. So credit cards, cash, checks, and yes, PayPal. But now, more ways to pay expands to including where your customers are. Now, traditionally, most people think of PayPal as an online payments company, but that's just one way that people want to pay. You have your desktop and your PC, your laptop, but now they want to be able to pay using their mobile phone, using an app, using credit cards, debit cards, and even interact with cash. And it all centers around having access to the method of payment they want, the single digital wallet, but accessing that digital wallet anywhere they are. As we think about that, let's start off with one scenario, which is the most common right now, where there's a lot of buzz, is that your customers or consumers are shopping using their mobile devices. They're using their tablets, they're using their smartphones. They're using them to shop, and they're using them to purchase. This coming holiday season is right around the corner. Last year, we saw that over 40% of smartphone users actually use their phone to purchase something. That was last holiday season. That number is going to go up even more. Now, just as importantly as purchasing, of course, is how they interact with you and your brand, your experience. Clearly, mobile devices is how folks are finding you, accessing you, and shopping. Again, last year, over 80% of smartphone users use their smartphone to shop in some form or fashion. I always think, actually, a good example is maybe you have an email list. You send out a newsletter or a promotional offer via email to that list. A lot of times, folks are accessing that email, reading that email from their mobile device. They're on their smartphone. They're sitting on the train, commuting into work, and they're checking their email. They're doing that on their phone more and more. And so that, a lot of times, is that first interaction with your website or store. It's through their mobile device. So it's incredibly important that you have a fantastic experience on mobile. Now, I do want to break down how folks use tablets versus their smartphone. There are some important distinctions there, and it's really going to tie into how you're going to best support your customers. The tablets, they're used primarily at home, and they're a shared device. You might have one or two per family. You have it there sitting on your couch while you're watching TV. It's not as ubiquitous as a smartphone, but it's a larger screen. It's more interactive. And as a result, how people use tablets is fundamentally different than a smartphone. The tablet, they're using apps. They're also using it almost like another computer or laptop. They're browsing websites. And because of that, their experience is a little bit richer, just like it is on the computer. And tablets, 60% of the time they're shopping, but 47% of users are actually using their tablets to buy something. So the browse to buy conversion rate is extremely high with tablets compared to smartphones. 2 times higher, in fact. Now, smartphones, on the other hand, are everywhere. They're your personal device. Everyone has one in their pocket. It's your connection. It's your phone. It has a smaller screen, but it's infinitely more portable. So it's everywhere with you at all times. Most folks interact using apps as opposed to browsing the web, but they are definitely shopping using their phone. Like I mentioned, the example of sending an email. You're checking your email, clicking on that link if they're interested, and browsing your site. So the importance there is they're interacting much more frequently with your experience using their smartphone. So while tablets are great in terms of browse to buy conversion is 2 times higher than smartphones, well, guess what? Mobile traffic from smartphones is twice as high with tablets. So there's a lot of interaction there that you're going to want to consider when building out your site or seeing how your customers interface with you via their mobile device. Different from a tablet to a smartphone. Now, when they're actually buying, it's even more critical that you have a very easy, simple conversion process. So if you have your shopping cart and somebody's ready to buy something from you on their smartphone or their tablet, the last thing that they want to do is do a lot of typing. It's not the same keyboard that they're used to with their PC. In fact, on a smartphone, it could be onerous to type in your name, address, credit card number, your shipping address. All those things add up and it becomes very cumbersome, and it's likely that you'll lose the sale when they're ready to buy if they have to type in too much. Having an easy checkout option like PayPal Mobile Express Checkout is key. How that works is somebody selects checkout with PayPal. They simply enter in their email address, which is their username, and their password, and all of the information, their contact name, shipping address, billing address, and of course the method of payment is all passed through to you instantly. So again, the customer really, all they're saying is, I want to check out. They enter their name and password, they review the purchase, and click done. And they get the confirmation that their order is complete. It takes seconds and not a lot of extra typing. So it's really, truly tap, and they're done. And what we found is, in that experience, when you're thinking about customers and how they want to pay, convenience is incredibly important. Speed of checkout and even really the consistency, that experience. They're familiar with PayPal in just having to enter in their username and password. It's very simple. So when you offer a convenient mobile checkout experience, your customers are really looking for convenience. They're looking for security as well. And that's something that PayPal has always been known for, and it's critical to have that security in that single virtual wallet. Now for you, of course, it's very important that you also have lots of customers who want that experience. And globally, PayPal has over 128 million active registered users in over 190 countries. So you're going to not only create a great experience for your customers, but you're going to draw attention and more likely increase conversion by showing the great PayPal experience. A recent report from Comscore really underscored the need and the desire for customers to use a mobile digital wallet. And what Comscore looked at earlier this year was, were they aware of ways to check out other than using their credit cards using mobile devices? And more importantly, did they actually use it? And so they looked at PayPal and Google Wallet, MasterCard, Square, and Visa's V.me. And predominantly, the great news is your customers are aware of mobile payment solutions. And very importantly, they're using them. So with PayPal, over 72% of consumers were familiar with PayPal, but almost half actually had used it. And that far outweighed any of the other solutions. But ultimately, it really shows for you that your business, you offer that alternate method of payment and a mobile experience, you're going to get customers. You're going to get buyers. And we've really seen that play out in last holiday season. We processed over $14 billion in payment volume via mobile. And that was a 3 times growth over 2011. And that trend is very likely to continue here in 2013. Now, interestingly, and tied to that experience, the checkout rate on a mobile device was twice as high for merchants that use PayPal. Again, having that simplicity and convenience really translated to conversion and checkout. Forrester actually did an interesting research study. They looked at consumer buying behavior not only from a did they purchase, but would they have purchased. Forrester found that 35% of mobile express checkout sales were incremental, which means that the customers would not have purchased if PayPal was not a checkout option on that mobile device. They would have delayed. They might have gone in later, but when you have a chance to get a sale, you know you want to get that sale. Mobile is more and more the place that folks are ready to buy. So having PayPal there is more likely to get you that sale when that customer is ready to buy. Speaking of customers that are ready to buy, you want to also not just present yourself in a way that makes it easy for customers to access your business via a mobile device. You want to get paid anywhere your customers are. And sometimes that's not in front of their computer or in front of their device. You want to get paid anywhere your customers are. And how PayPal has approached that is something that you can easily use your smartphone or tablet to make sure that you're accepting credit cards or any type of payment. The device is called PayPal Here. It's a free device, a free app that you can download from the Apple iTunes Store or the Android marketplace. What PayPal Here provides is a very easy way for you as a business to get paid anytime, anywhere your customers are. You could be in the field. Let's say you're selling a product or service. That's not just on your website or in your store. It could be something more opportunistic. You might be at a farmer's market or a trade show or an event, and you have a customer that's interested. You want to make sure you're taking that order right then and there. Now, if you are a service business, you're also out in the field. You're a web developer, and you have a client. You're on their site. You can get paid then. You're a plumber, electrician, fixing cars, whatever. If you have the opportunity to accept a payment then and there, you want to make sure you're doing it. And you want to make sure that you're doing it with a trusted and known brand. And that's where PayPal comes into play. The other critical thing, the key features of PayPal Here really boil down to providing the most ways to pay. PayPal Here allows you to accept credit cards, check, cash, of course PayPal. You can also even do invoices. It's very easy for you to accept whatever form of payment your customers want to pay. But as a business, not only is that great because you're able to accept those many forms of payment, but you're going to have access to those funds right away. The transactions are going to be secure, and it's going to work with most smartphones that are available. Again, I mentioned PayPal Here works with your Android device or iOS device like an iPhone or an iPad. But then also it has to make financial sense for you as well. It's very important to us that we provide a clear and simple transaction rate for you. For credit card processing, PayPal Here is just 2.7% flat rate. But you can also save money another way. Additionally, with PayPal Here, you have access and capability to use a PayPal debit card, which receives 1% cash back. You can accept a payment, get funds put into your account, and get a 1% cash back when you have to spend that money, which makes your effective rate not 2.7%, but 1.7%. So there's a great way that you can save money. Now the experience for your customer is very, very simple. You simply open up your app, plug in this sturdy PayPal Here reader. It's secure. You ring up the order, click charge, swipe the card, and then PayPal Here prompts you to have your customer sign. They just swipe their finger on your touch screen. They choose their receipt method. You could have an email, text to them, and then the receipt is sent, the transaction is done. It takes just moments to do all that. Now, with PayPal here, there's a couple of key features that I feel really differentiate and make your experience very, very successful. And if you're a service business or in the field taking a payment, using PayPal here to accept credit cards couldn't be easier. But also sometimes you need to cash or process checks. You can take a picture of the check and it processes automatically. And most importantly, there's no processing fee on your side to process that check. Let's say you don't have the PayPal here device plugged into your smartphone. You can still accept credit cards. PayPal here has a way to scan, take a picture of that credit card, and process using the character recognition so that the numbers go through that one. And also, I mentioned invoicing. I think for service businesses or any type of purchase where your customer may be paying later, using an invoice is incredibly powerful. So from your phone or your tablet, when you're in the field, you'll be able to show your customer the price they're going to pay and send them an invoice so that they could pay automatically off of that invoice. You could send that via email. So that's PayPal here. And PayPal here allows you to accept payments using your smartphone or tablet anywhere your customers are. But the revolution is also happening in your store, and point-of-sale solutions are being modernized dramatically using the same mobile technology. There's new ways to pay right in your store. You can use PayPal here as a device swiper inside your store. Very easy to do. Your customers, with their mobile wallet, have an easy way to check in and let you know that they're there. But then also, you could use your tablet and integrate it in with your point-of-sale system to have a robust experience for your customer. It really starts with the ability for your customer to find you. And the PayPal app for consumers, which is a free app available from the App Store and the Android Marketplace, allow the customer to skip the line. It allows you to be found as a business. So your customers using the PayPal app, very simply, they log in to their PayPal account, they select shop, they find your business, and they place the order. We've done a test with various retail locations, including Jamba Juice, for the capability of skipping the line. I might be just leaving work, but I know I'm going to want a delicious juice. I open up my PayPal app, but the nearby Jamba Juice, and I make my order. Hop in my car, and by the time I get there, it's ready to go. I skip the line. There's no need for me to wait, order. I save a ton of time, and I get my juice really fast. They could do that with any store location. And also, as I mentioned, they'll be able to find you. There's a source of local traffic coming to your doorstep using the PayPal app is an easy way for customers to do just that. They will find your store that way. So they check in to your store. But what's your experience? You have a tablet, you have your mobile point-of-sale system. It works very much the same way, but with much more powerful capabilities. Your experience is very similar. You ring up your customer transaction on your point-of-sale system. You select the method of payment. The taxes are already calculated for you. The product information is all set up. You run up your customer. But now you can see who your customer is. If they've checked in using the PayPal app, you'll be able to see that they've just entered your store. So again, that scenario that I mentioned where you're skipping the line. All of a sudden you see that that customer with that particular order is coming into your store, so you know you can provide them, and you know that they've already paid. And that is really one of the things that Dale mentioned was clienteling. That's the next step. So it's easy to ring up an order using your device, but now you're able to see the customer, know who they are, know what they've ordered, and you'll be able to greet them with a smile. So the benefits of accepting PayPal and using PayPal here in a tablet device as your point-of-sale system really boils down to the power of tablets. They're super simple and easy to use. They're lower cost solutions than many of the more complex point-of-sale systems, as well as using the PayPal here rates, you'll be reducing costs. And your costs are clear and simple. not varying across different methods of payment. And ultimately, because of the clienteling capability, you're going to be able to get more customers, get more sales, and know that they're going to be coming back again and again because you have better insight and able to offer better solutions for them. Now, PayPal partners also with a number of the leading modern point-of-sale systems. We're able to power point-of-sale through solutions by Earthly, NCR, LeapSet, Leap, ShopKeep, and Vend. These are the modern point-of-sale systems that are going to take your business to that next level. In fact, we have a current promotion running through the end of this month. So ending September 30th, it's a week away. If you go to www.paypal.com/cash-for-registers, we'll waive your qualifying transaction fees through January 2014 when you upgrade your current point-of-sale system to a modern point-of-sale system and buy eligible hardware through one of our partners. Super simple to do. You sign up on the paypal.com/cash-for-registers website. You buy your hardware. Once you purchase the hardware, and you redeem with a proof of purchase, and we'll set you up with free transaction fees on qualifying transactions through January 2014. So in summary, Dale brought up the massive opportunity that mobile and collecting payments for using your smartphone or tablet. And it really boils down to the fact that you're going to be able to increase sales. And it's because you're offering your customers more ways to pay. And that's not just the type of payments they can make, credit card, cash, check, or PayPal, or invoicing, but where they're going to pay. Customers, you're going to want to make sure you're getting paid wherever your customers are. And your customers are going to want a fast, secure checkout experience. And mobile devices provide that. Whether your customers are paying through their smartphone or tablet, or you're accepting payment using PayPal here to swipe credit card or accept other form of payment using your mobile device. And lastly, tablets are revolutionizing point-of-sale systems as well, making it easier to not only process the payments in store, but take your business to the next level by allowing you to do clienteling, understand your customers that much more, and using PayPal's mobile app, your customers are more likely to find you, find the offers that you have, and they're going to walk in your door.
Thanks, Bob. Before we get started on questions and answers, we're going to hear a short message from our sponsor, EventSpot.
EventSpot is a leading event management platform from Constant Contact, the pioneering email and internet marketing company. Use EventSpot for fundraisers, online meetings, webinars, trade shows, conferences, classes, and much more. With EventSpot, companies can promote their events, register attendees, collect payments, and measure performance. The heart of any event management system is online registration. It helps you automate the process of manually collecting information about people planning to attend your event. This includes helping you to promote your event to drive more attendance. EventSpot captures online registrations and payments with ease. It's available 24/7 and can be done at the leisure of your attendees. EventSpot helps you work smarter by tracking your event's progress using dashboards and online reports. One person can run the entire show. Once your event begins, checking people in at the event can be very busy and chaotic. EventSpot eliminates these hassles too by providing a great mobile check-in app and a simple way to collect fees swiftly and efficiently. Remember EventSpot for your next meeting, conference, or get-together. Try it free for 60 days at constantcontact.com/EventSpot.
Well, thanks again to Constant Contact's EventSpot for sponsoring this webinar, and thank you all for attending and hanging in there through the whole thing. We've got a little bit of time here for questions, so Bob and I are going to field them. So if you have questions, please type them in to the chat window, and we will answer as many as we can with the time we have left. So let's go ahead and get started. Bob, are you out there?
Sam. Got
Great.
lots of info.
Got a question here from Todd. Can I sync PayPal here with my hosted version of QuickBooks? And I guess I would ask you to comment on other solutions you may also integrate with for accounting.
So,
But,
PayPal here makes it very easy to get the information that you need for your account and export it out to any format that you need. There are solutions that are available out in the marketplace that make it very easy to sync with QuickBooks or any other accounting package. It is not native as part of that at this point.
okay. Question from Carrie. Is mobile payment processing more or less secure than normal web payments? Bob, you want to tackle that one?
It's actually just as secure, and there's always been an advancement in security, making sure that your information is always encrypted. I think that's one way that a lot of people think about. Oh, is the information going over a wire when it was the internet, or over the airways with your mobile phone? Is that secure, or over Wi-Fi? And encryption is certainly part of the story. But then also, there's other levels of protection that have to be considered. One is, Gail, you had mentioned PCI compliance. That has a whole series of basically requirements for a payment provider to take payments and store that information. But then also it's important for you as a business or your customers that a payment provider also create or a safe environment, because there's fraud protection services that are involved. So PayPal, we're easily able to detect if, something's not right about that payment. That certainly happens on your online experience. Same thing for your mobile experience. And then as a seller, you have seller protection as well to make sure that transactions going through are legitimate transactions and that you're protected as a business in case they aren't. That's how it's a multifaceted approach to security.
And for those of you who don't sell online, that's a big advantage to PayPal, because with just standard credit card gateways and processing, you're pretty much at the mercy of, you're at fault no matter what happens if there's fraud, and that's not the case with PayPal, so I think that's important to understand. I have a question here that says, I have an existing merchant account provided for transactions on my website. Will I have to use another provider for mobile payments? Bob, you want to take that?
Do you already have?
The user already has a merchant account that they're taking transactions online. If they decide to add mobile payments from PayPal in this case, would they have to have a different account, is I think the question. I'll take a stab at it first.
Yeah, sure.
If you have a merchant account with, let's just say with Chase, and you're using PaymentTech, you would have, if you decided with PayPal, you would have a PayPal account as well. If you chose something like Square, you would have an account with Square. So you will have a separate account in the case of not having a merchant account. So if you exclusively used a mobile payment solution, you would not have to have a merchant account. So it kind of goes that way. The mobile payment solutions don't replace merchant accounts for most of the alternatives out there.
Yeah, and that's correct. And setting one up is super easy. It's literally creating an account with your email address, setting up a password. That's all it takes to start things off for setting up your business account.
Minutes as opposed to the process you have to go through to get a merchant solution.
Exactly.
Let's see, here's a question, interesting question. How do I get my business to show up in the local search on the shopping app? And I know you referenced that in your discussion, Bob, as far as having an ability to order the Jamba Juice. How could they leverage that to get some SEO from it?
Sure. And right, it does really start with that consumer shopping experience. They have a digital wallet app, like the PayPal app, and they push shop. And usually, and this is how we do it, is based on your location. So all phones have GPS. They say, well, here are all the businesses that are within a certain range of you. How you get listed on that is basically by using the PayPal Here app on your side. So you would have the PayPal Here app, and as part of setting up that business account through that, we do also ask your location and if you want to be listed on the PayPal app. So it's super simple. Then it just shows up there automatically. And not only will your customers see it from a local standpoint, if they want to search for it, I live 20 minutes away from the PayPal office. Sometimes I want to order something that is 20 miles away. So I will go ahead and search because I know that particular business. And you'll be able to be found that way based on the keyword search as well.
Okay, cool. A question from Megan: how would this be practical for bookkeeping? I think Bob answered part of this, but just to clarify, if you are exporting your sales revenue report and you're importing it back into QuickBooks, for example, it means you don't have to do all those postings. It will know what's revenue, it will know what's refunds, it'll have the customer name and email information will come forward if you choose to import it. So what it does is it takes you out of double entry effectively. So you don't have to worry about it not looking the same as you might to your point of sale or if you were invoicing out of QuickBooks. You can map it so that it matches on both sides. So that's basically, I think, the question you're asking. Hopefully that will clarify it. If it doesn't, just stick another question in here and we'll try and go deeper on that.
One other thing I could add there is also on those point of sale systems. So if you are utilizing one of those major point of sale systems, they typically have a lot of that built in as well. So not only your accounting and bookkeeping, but also things like inventory control.
Bob, we have a question here. Could you please provide that special PayPal URL again for the POS upgrade partners?
Oh, sure. Yeah, and as a reminder, the program is called Cash for Registers. So what the URL, just go to paypal.com/cash for registers, all one word. And that will give you all the information you need to register for the opportunity, and if you end up purchasing from one of our partners, you'll be able to get all your transaction fees waived through the end of the year. But as a reminder, that ends September 30th, so right around the corner next Monday.
Right around the corner. Got a question from Virginia. I'll ask the question, but I'll paraphrase a little bit. She said she saw a comment online that PayPal Here, I assume, doesn't work on Samsung Note. Is that still true? And I guess the bigger question is there a place that you guys list what devices are supported by various apps on your site?
We do have a list, and it links out to the Android store for that information. But basically, yeah, we do support Samsung devices. One of the interesting things about an Android is certainly they have different operating systems for each of the different devices, and we support the majority of those.
Yeah, that is certainly a challenge on Android. We have a question from Cynthia. Can I take a picture of the credit card if I don't have a swiper? Bob, I think you mentioned that, but maybe you can go revisit that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, and we recognize that you'll probably always have your cell phone handy, but you might not always have the dirty PayPal here triangle swiper. You can take a picture or scan a credit card. We include that as part of the PayPal here app. So you just select credit card and then whether you want to take a picture. And same thing actually goes for checks as well. So just as a reminder, it's fantastic technology that you're able to actually take a picture of the check, and it recognizes all the routing numbers and bank account information, and is able to process that payment.
Great. And I see really we're down to just one more question, I think. Where are funds available when a customer actually pays via PayPal here? When would they see that money become available?
Great thing there is it's almost instantaneous. Legally, we have to say same day, but it really takes a fraction, couple seconds just to process it, so you get access to that information or that your funds right away. It's right in your PayPal account, and that payment is protected.
And I might add, that's just tremendous. I mean, when I got into the online business, we waited 5 days, and it got better over time as we got bigger, but we still had a couple-day, hold on the funds. So that's a significant advantage for many small businesses.
The other thing I was going to mention also is we also have a 1% cashback debit card. Not only do you have access in your PayPal account, it's like if you actually have to access that and you're counting on that cash flow to make a payment to one of your vendors to run your business, you can use that debit card right away. And again, those funds are instantly available. Fantastic.
Right. Yeah, that's true, because you guys do have a day or so lag sometimes from redemption into a bank account. I think that's it, folks. Thank you so much for attending. Bob, thank you for a great job presenting PayPal. And again, thanks to our sponsor, EventSpot, from Constant Contact, for supporting this effort.